Welcome to Find You Fridays. I'm Lorene Hughes, your host from Crafting Possibilities, and I am really pumped for today. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that, and one of them is being that we are inching up. This is let me just double check. Yes, I have this episode and one more, and then we're at our 1 year anniversary. Yay! So I am just so thrilled to be here. I never ever would have dreamed that we would make it through an entire year of Find You Fridays, and here we are. How does it get any better? I am so thrilled. And of course, that also means that Tasty Tuesdays is coming up to their 1 year anniversary too. So that I've got one more episode, and I think that, yes, one more episode, and then we will be on our 1 year anniversary for Tasty Tuesdays as well. So yay, so excited. Anyway, so before we get to doing some readings and other cool things, let us get this shared out there. So I better pop that one up. And let me get this one, and I shall pop that into the chat as well. Hi, Anne-Marie. How are you going, sweetie? Thank you so much, darling. I appreciate that very, very much. So absolutely getting it out there, sharing it out there makes things very, very cool and allows more people to come and play and enjoy this space on a good old Friday night. It's I really love the fact that I get to stay in on a Friday night, and in doing so brings you all some deliciousness that is Find You Fridays. So, all right, let's just get out there and do a little bit more sharing. How has your week been, my friends? I'm really curious to know how you've been feeling this week. I know there's some really big energies floating around at the moment. Certainly for me, I'm working through some pretty deep stuff right now, where I am actually working on some aspects to do with my second and third chakra right now. And that it's deep stuff. It's deep stuff. It's certainly not something I can fix in 15 minutes or less. And certainly not with a set of Ginsu knives. So sometimes, we do have to take our time with these things. And with aspects of your healing that have been with you for a really, really long time, your whole life, or maybe all your lifetimes, or many lifetimes, you do have to honor them. And you do that by allowing yourself the space to do that, right? Don't rush it. You cannot rush this. So, for example, when I was working through and healing a lot of aspects to do with my first chakra, that actually took me on an 18-month journey. And that was pretty intense, to be fair. And it was fraught with many ups and downs, and I am incredibly grateful every day that I chose to do it. And it has given me a great many skills and tools and things that I now am able to use in my work with you all. And hi, Julie. Lovely to see you, darling. Julie, while I've got you there, if you're wishing to be a part of the Find You Fridays group, there is some questions that you're going to have to answer. I think Melinda has actually invited you to the group, which is absolutely awesome. I'm just going to copy that and pop that in the chat so you can find it. If you don't wish to be a part of that, that's absolutely fine. I totally get it. You know, I've just dropped out another, gosh, I was involved in something like over 100 groups, and I was just like, there's no way in heck that I'm a part. Like, I actively interact with over 100 groups. So just this week, I actually dropped down about half of them. So I totally get it. And for anybody else who's on our Find You Fridays crew, if you would like to be in that group, we're just quietly developing it over there at the moment. And there is going to be some really yummy things coming through there moving forward. I have been incredibly busy, and between work and doing renovations for my friend to get their house ready to sell, I have had a lot of 7-day weeks for a lot of weeks in a row. So it's part of the reason why I absolutely love being here with all of you. You give me that space of healing and connection to the divine and connection to spirituality and the collective. And it's an every week thing. And for that, I am very, very grateful for you all. And that's part of why I keep showing up, no matter how tired I might be and what my day's been and all of that sort of stuff. And if I'm, you know, running a little late or whatever, I'm still here. And I'm still showing up, and today is absolutely no exception. I'm here. I'm happy to be here, and somebody noticed a couple of weeks ago that they mentioned that I looked a little tired, and I'm like, yeah, I am. I was a bit tired a couple of weeks ago. We've also got to remember that the different phases of the moon also make me tired, and I think I was also coming into my lovely moon time, so yes, there was a lot of tiredness running through my body that day. And that's just the reality of life, isn't it? Some days you've got a lot more energy and other days you don't. So going back to the healing journey, and with my first chakra, I called it my pussy journey. And in many, many ways it was reclaiming that word pussy, taking all the negative connotations off of that word and allowing myself to identify with that word in a beautiful, delicious goddess type of way. And that process, like I said, it was not just that, there was a lot of other aspects wrapped up in that too. That led me on a very intensive 18-month journey. And I am so, so grateful for it. And now then I've had an integration time of maybe another 12 to 18 months, I would say, nearly 2 years of integration time. And now it's a case of, yeah, we're ready for the next parts, which is the second and third chakra. So those two have some interesting things wrapped up in them. If any of you are familiar with Joe Dispenza's work, he speaks of the first 3 chakra being our survival chakra. And if you have any blocks or anything, and he goes through what those blocks are, could possibly be, they will appear in your life, and you'll find that once you actually deal with those things and heal them, everything else will just start flowing with a lot more ease. And let's face it, this life is hard enough without blocking your own pipes. So that's where I'm at the moment. And my sisterhood is rallying around me right now, which is so super cool, because that was very much how I got through the first chakra stuff, was having a really strong sisterhood around me. And so now I'm working through the next ones, and it's going to be a multi-angle approach once again. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. So yay. Part of that is actually learning about things like your attachment style. And I've learned that I've had a big part of my life in the anxious attachment style. So for those of you who know what that is, you'll be like, oh, really? And I've processed some of that out. So I'm actually a combo between anxious and secure. So on this show, of course, you get to see me in my secure attachment style because I am secure. I feel safe here, and I feel I trust myself in this space. I trust me. I trust my team. I trust, what's coming through from the universe and consciousness and all of that sort of stuff. I trust everything implicitly in this space. And that quite often happens when you are on that healing journey, where you end up with an area of your life where you gain a lot of, yes, exactly, Anne-Marie, I am enough. You gain a lot of strength in one particular area. And the trick is to take that strengths and apply it to the other areas of your life where you might find that you're struggling a little bit more, whether that be in, say, intimate relationships or friendships or work or, whatever it might be. So it's an interesting journey. My last, apart from the first chakra one, the last big letting go of stuff was actually October last year, where I let go of a white sage, witch lifetime, where I had lived through the burning times, and it was a very, very traumatic death, and it was hugely triggered about 12 months beforehand. And every time I went to look at, are we ready to deal with this yet? And everything said, no, we just need you to be, we require you to be in space with this for now. We require you to, as in we of body, being, my Akashic records, they were requiring me to just hold space for that lifetime, to have the other awarenesses, the intimate layers come through, but also allow space for the other beautiful sister who was to help me move through that particular lifetime with the healing, to get to a point where she was also ready. And that's the thing of when you're in sisterhood, there is an honoring of everybody within that sisterhood space. And if somebody's not quite up to that point of getting to there yet, you can't force them. And so it was a case of waiting until both her and I were ready together, and we supported each other. And it's such a beautiful journey, and I will go into that more next month on my Tasty Tuesday series. So we're going to be talking about witchy woo practices next month on my Tasty Tuesdays. So I invite you to go over there next month particularly and have a listen, and to my amazing guests who are going to be coming on and chatting about their witchy practices. And there's just so much fun and enjoyment coming through from this topic for me, because that's all I'm going to say about that, because otherwise I'll just blurt out everything I've got to say with you guys. But safe to say, I am really, really looking forward to this next series on Tasty Tuesdays. So that is, of course, at 7 p.m. Adelaide time, Adelaide, Australia, South Australia. So yes. Oh, tonight. We are drinking the Puka brand of tea, wild apple and cinnamon. Great for a chilly evening. So it's been cold here in Adelaide. What can I say? I think we are very lucky to have all the seasons, and I'm certainly more of a winter baby than a summer baby, but my actual favorite times of year is spring and autumn. because I'm just that nice in between, there's a little bit of everything. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, there's a bit of rain, and I like a good storm, and my favorite place to live was actually the place I lived at before here, where we had this big, huge, massive carport, and I could watch all of the rain and listen to it. And it was like thundering down. It was so good. So good. Yeah, it's a bit chilly, I have to say, even for this little Kiwi girl. Yeah, so the big takeaway from that big, huge ramble about healing, and I said today to someone that I'm in the process of healing some more of my spiritual library. How's that for a cool turn of phrase? So the spiritual library, where essentially I'm referring to it as each part, each belief system, each point of view is its own story. And it gets locked into our bodies and into our spiritual system. And so I'm like, well, that's a really good way to look at it. It's like it takes away the significance from it so that we don't get wrapped up too much in the emotions of it, but at the same time acknowledging it as an important part. It's an important piece of where how you've got to where you are, right? So a library, is nothing without its books. So it's just like you're nothing without your experiences. So yeah, spiritual library. So I'm healing some of my spiritual library at the moment. Instead of it being a partly published book, it's going to be complete books. That's so cool. How big were the hailstones, Julie? Having a hailstorm. All right, so let's have a quick little bit of a reading for the collective. And of course, remembering if you wish to have an extended reading, you can pop through a little donation and that'll pop you into the queue for an extended reading. And I love doing those extended readings. They're so much fun. And the extended reading donations this week will be going, I think, I was going to do a little bit of research on it. But let me just have a quick look here. What's it called? Yes. Okay, let's just see. Yes, I can. Excellent. Cool. So the donation place for this month will be the Hutt Street Centre, which helps people with homelessness. And so it could be in the form of clothing, it could be in the form of food. There's a lot of things that they actually do for the people who are homeless. So that's where I will be putting the donations from the Find You Fridays this week, for this month, sorry. So yes, you heard it here first. It popped into my mind while I was in the shower. So I was like, okay, that's where we're going this month. I'm very happy with that. So if you would like to help out, some people who, are living it a bit rough right now, and, the people who support them definitely require, they absolutely require the additional donations and things. So this is just one way that we can contribute to the good work that they do. Okay. There's a lovely lady I know. She actually works with, I'm not sure if it's a Hutt Street Centre, but I think it might be, where they go around and they actually launder the people's clothing in the back of a van or a truck type thing, and they wash and they dry the clothes, and quite often they'll have like a little chat with the people as they're doing their laundry, and I think they get maybe food or like a cup of tea while they're waiting, something like that. So I'm going to ask her for some more details about that, and when I see her next month, and see what we can do about helping them as well, because she does all that. It's all voluntary. She doesn't get paid to do it. So isn't that so cool? All right. Luckily not huge. Yeah, huge hailstones can certainly do some damage, can't they? So we've got our reading tonight running from the 27th through to the 2nd of June. 27th of May to the 2nd of June. My goodness. So how can we best work with these energies coming up and moving through the collective? Because all of that is obviously a factor. We will be coming up to a full moon, on the 4th. So we'll just be getting a slight little touch of the full moon by the 2nd. It's that moment when people start going, is there something funky happening in the world today? Here we go. We had to shake, rattle, and roll. Oh, interesting. How curious. All right, so working with these energies over this next week, there's some interesting things that are coming forward. First of all, we've got the parents card. And the divine truth is that your parents eternally love you to the best of their ability. The angels are helping you to heal from any pain associated with your mother or father this week. So if you find that your mother or father or grandparents, I'm actually being told your grandparents are coming up in your world this week, coming forward, have a moment to look at where you sit with that. Where is your levels of gratitude at with those parental figures in your life? And I'm also being told you may even have aunties and uncles that will start coming through as well. If you find that like everything is sweet as with your parents and your grandparents, but there's maybe some wonks happening with the aunties and uncles, or one of the aunties and uncles, that could be coming through. So what this card is really looking at is, where are your levels of gratitude at? So truth, you can even do it right now. So with your mum, truth, where is your levels of gratitude at between 1 and 100? 1 being like 0, dead, and 100 being like, yeah, I'm rocking this. Where are they at? Where is your levels of gratitude at with your mum? Truth, where are your levels of gratitude at with your dad? Okay. And when you have a look at that, it's a 10 for your mum. Cool. Thank you for popping that in the chat, Anne-Marie. I'm really grateful for you doing that. So this week you might find that with your mum, things are going to be stirred up a little bit. And what I would recommend to you is, because I can honestly say 12 months ago, maybe not 12 months ago, I think I'd already finished my diploma by then. 2 years ago, I'm going to stretch it out to 2 years ago, I would have been down around a 10 for my mum. These days, so let's see, truth. It's at about 99. So what was the big shift? The big shift for me was understanding, or inner standing. I'm going to say inner standing what a soul contract is, and to be able to comprehend what sacrifice from a soul perspective or a being perspective my mum had made for me. And this isn't a conversation I could have with her. She's still alive now, but there is no way I could have this conversation with her, and an esoteric, metaphysical type conversation with her in this moment. But to feel and understand the sacrifice that she made by choosing what she's chosen in her life for me, as this card said, they love you to the best of their ability. When you get that soul contract part, and this is what was true for me, suddenly the gratitude in my heart just burst right open, and everything, all of my judgment, all of my pain, all of my feeling of neglect and emotional neglect and the judgment and all of the stuff just melted away, instantly melted away, and has been at that space since. That's okay if your mum's passed. I don't really speak with my mum, but the level of gratitude is still there. Okay, so being that your mum's passed, this is even easier actually for you, as crazy as that might sound, because now you can actually speak with your mum in meditation, if you're willing to do so, and speak to her being, right? And her being is at that space where she can now come to you from the space of unconditional love. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. And you'll get more insight and more awareness and more peace and forgiveness with her from that space. So just because she's passed away doesn't mean that's the end of the story. Not by a long, long, long shot. Okay? Have fun with that one, because I think that's going to be coming up for you for this week. So that's pretty cool. The next one we have is the Law of Attraction card, and it says that relationships and activities that you once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware of energies. Now, this is really fascinating, because I know that this has been something that's been floating around for me for a little while now, but I've also been talking with other people who have kids, and their kids are doing this, especially the girls. So the girls who once were a little bit rough and tumble with the boys, or, had more rough and tumble type interests, are now not choosing that so much. And that's a really fascinating thing to see in children, because generally, if the children are picking it, it means that the adults are not too far behind. And so be aware of how your body is responding to certain stimuli, how it is responding to your environment, how it's responding to food, how it is responding to like maybe your bed, or how you eat, when you eat, do you eat fast or slow, all those sorts of things, because your body may be telling you very loudly and clearly, I wish to change this. And it might be doing that by creating spaces where it's making you slow down. So it could be that you're feeling more tired, and it's one of our body's responses to trying to get us to take more notice of what is happening around us. So you may find that you might end up with maybe a headache, or it could even go the complete other way as well. And you might notice things that just really light you up like they've never lit you up before. And it'll be like, wow, did you see that sunset? And it'll be just like it's the very first time you've ever seen a sunset in your whole freaking life. And you go to tell other people about it that you've never really done that before with, and they'll be like, yeah, it's just a sunset, dude. I would challenge you in those moments of when your body just lights up in such a big, beautiful way, even if people around you are like, hold onto your original feeling and do not let anybody else's shit point of view dull your light. Okay? Just go, oh, that's cool that you don't want to enjoy it. I'll go back out and enjoy it. And those who you message or speak to that also share that same enjoyment for those things that you do, they'll come to you more and more and more. So there was one day I had this exact experience, and I messaged one of my new friends and I said to her, oh my God, go check out the sunset like right now. And because we had been messaging backwards and forwards anyway, and she's like, oh my God, that sounds so beautiful. And I'm like, yeah, I know, right? And that's the cool thing. Our friendship circles are changing to match where we're at right now. So there we go. Law of attraction. She's a beautiful thing. The next card that we've got is you are profoundly clairvoyant. Trust what you see in your mind's eye as well as within your physical sight, for your spiritual vision helps you with healing, teaching, and guidance. I really like this card. Let me see if I can show you properly. Look at that. Isn't that just so cool? And it's got like the bubble that the angel is holding. And then there's the mermaid swimming around on the inside of the bubble. And that is just so cool, right? So it's very, very mystical, magical kind of card. I really like that one. What I can say about that one is that your abilities are being ramped up a lot right now. And I'm hearing it from all sorts of people around me of their intuition being spot on over and over again. And even for me, so for example, I was getting my HelloFresh delivery last night, and normally they drop it off by roughly 11 o'clock at night, so I don't mind staying up to grab that, bring it inside. But last night they were late, and so I got Matt to check just before he came to bed at about midnight. They still weren't there, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And so I went off to sleep. I figured, oh well, I trust it'll be there when I wake up. At just after 3 o'clock in the morning, my body just went, get up now. He's outside. Your delivery is here. Now I opened up the front door and literally he had just pulled up outside and he was grabbing the box and he was bringing it across the street to me. So he hadn't even made it to the front door yet, but there he was. My intuition and my awareness is like really strong now. And the beautiful thing is that I'm pretty much, to start off with, I was a bit skeptical about it. Like as in over the last few weeks since mid-March. And I was just like, yeah. But it keeps proving to me over and over and over again that this is spot on. You've got this. You've got all these awarenesses and you've got this intuition flowing. So let me know if that's also happening for you too. Are you finding that messages are coming to you in a way that they've never come to you before? Maybe they're coming to you as like funny little thoughts, like, I wouldn't do that. It's probably going to do blah, 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 blah. Or, oh, yes, you should leave now. Or one of my friends, they have this beautiful way of knowing without me even saying anything, of knowing when I'm processing through big things. And they said, hey, how are you going? They've messaged me this week to say, hey, how are you going? And so it's really fascinating to see how all of those beautiful collective thoughts are just flowing in and around at the moment. Fascinatingly enough, the next card that we've got is actually the crown chakra. How cool is that? So pay attention to the ideas as they are messages of the true divine guidance sent in answer to your prayers. So yes. So along with being profoundly clairvoyant, you've got to listen to those things that are coming through and the ideas. So it's about the mind's eye as well as the ideas flowing in and through. Highly recommend, when those ideas start flowing and coming in, even if it's just one little line or maybe a word that comes through. So like for the example, the title of my poetry book, Gratitude, the Space Between Seconds, that actually came out of a conversation that was not even about my poetry book between me and another person about an experience that I had nothing to do with my book at all. And I just sat there and I went, gosh, and they'd asked me, what is gratitude to you? And I said to her, well, it's the space between seconds. And then I went, I have to write that down. I just knew. I knew that was something that was really important to write down. And then next thing you know, I knew it was the title to my book. And I was like, yes. So again, be aware of the ideas that are coming in, write them down. I actually wrote a poem the other day. I haven't written any poems for a little while, but it was a one line that came through about 2 weeks or maybe a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, one line, and I wrote it down on my phone, and then I came back to it and I finished it off. So yeah. Now, to wind up the cards part of this, we have the base chakra. So we've gone from the crown to the base. And with this one, it says, choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, finances as your words determine your outcome, which is, of course, linked in with your law of attraction card. So this is something we've been speaking a lot about lately. Ever since the Heavens Cross shift, of being very mindful of how you're speaking about your surroundings. Because if you're speaking about your surroundings in a way that is not positive, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get not positive outcomes, okay? So if you wish to change the energy of anything at all, change how you speak about it. Okay, so I've got a really lovely friend who is struggling with their work right now and has been for quite some months. And I said to them many times over, be mindful of how you're speaking. And that was so cool because there's been some interesting shifts in their world. And now it's like I say good morning, and now I'm getting a good morning, rather than, and, when I ask them, I hope you have a lovely day today, instead of getting a, yeah, maybe, I'll see what happens, I get a, yeah, I hope so. So this is the difference. And what do you know? They're coming home and to their home and being a lot more happy and a lot more content, even if they've had a big hard day. It's like it's a beautiful thing. It really is. So change your words, change your thoughts, change your approach, and you'll have different outcomes. As good old, what was his name? Einstein, was it? Who said, stupidity is just doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Something like that. So let's just have one final card for the collective, please, for the next week. Let's see what our little overall arching theme is for this week. Forgiveness. Okay, so that matches in with our very, very first card with our parents. Okay, so forgiveness, but it's also about forgiveness of yourself. It's forgiveness of your approach to things, forgiveness of all of the words that you've spoken that haven't been great, of all of the actions you've had that haven't had great outcomes, of the people that maybe you've judged or hurt or harmed intentionally or unintentionally. It's about forgiveness of all those things too, and that commitment to yourself to not make those same choices again. Okay, so there we go. That's a lovely little message for everybody. And I did hear a little ding-a-ling-a-ling in my ear hole. So let's have a look and see who that was. I don't even know where my phone is now. Isn't that cool? So it's the only issue with trying to do this through the computer is, oh dear. Oh, there it is. Ah, hi Heather. Not much, but hope okay for... Ah, yes, of course, Heather. Okay, Heather, what would you like me to focus on, sweetie? So, Heather, when you're ready, just pop a little comment in the comments of what you would like me to focus on for your extended reading. So Edwina, what does she say? When I was at work in the supermarket yesterday, I got a gut feeling that this man was shoplifting. I was spot on. Fantastic. Good work. Good work. Yeah. And it's happening, not the shoplifting part, I hope happening more and more, but certainly all those gut feelings, all those little spots of intuition and awareness are really, really, full. Even down to the other day, I was driving down the street, and for those of you who aren't in Adelaide, you get all sorts of weird speed zones. So like it'll seem like it's a residential street, but it's 60 kilometers an hour. Then you'll get other ones that are 50 kilometers an hour. And then you'll get other ones that are 40 kilometers an hour. And it's not consistent. You can be in a different suburb and the rules are different. Anyway, so I was driving down this suburb street and I knew it was a 50 kilometer hour zone, but I don't always necessarily look at my speedometer as I'm tootling along. And my foot came off of the accelerator just a little bit, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, I wonder why I did that. And I looked to my left, and what do you know, there's a cop car parked right there. I'm like, oh, good work. Well done. Oh dear. Okay, General, it's all right. Oh, yay, we've got somebody in the background making some interesting noises. Aren't we lucky? So, yes, I'm grateful to you, Heather, for popping a little donation through to the Hutt Street Centre. So thank you for that. And I look forward to popping those donations through. I'm just going to get a little bit of background music so that we can not have quite so much funkiness happening from outside. I don't think we want plinky plonk music. Okay. Oh, goodness. Hopefully they'll be quiet soon. That would be nice. Unfortunately and fortunately, my there we go. My microphone is very, very sensitive. So, all right. All right. Cool. Let me know if that's annoying to you all. I might place it. Yeah, no, I'll place it there. Cool. Plinky plonky music. That is what my my dear friend calls hang drum or hang pan, depending on what you would like to call it. Do you want this card? No. Okay. Heather's team. It's nice to have your team back, Heather. Thank you. I was doing an online session the other day and I had the heater going in here, like a little fan heater, and they're like, what is that whirring sound? Oh gosh, it's not that loud. It's just how sensitive the microphone is. Okay, Heather. We're working with Ina Segal's The Secret Language of Your Soul cards. They're brand new this year, released, which is really cool. So happy to have them. So what we've got here is stand up for your beliefs. The time to act is now. So if there's something in your world that is challenging your beliefs or where you feel it sits in your world, and you're sort of not sure whether you should move forward or not with what you're thinking about doing with that, whether that be from a more personal, family, work, whatever space, this card is saying it's time to move on that. So it's no longer sitting on the fence. It's like it's time to move forward and allow yourself the space to actually do that, to stand up for yourself. I know you're really good at doing that. And sometimes, even when we are really good at it for other people, sometimes for ourselves, it can be a little bit more challenging. But this card is saying the time is now. So if there's something that you've been sort of toying with, of not sure what you're going to do moving forward, it is time. This next card is very much ties into that first one of express your hidden feelings and celebrate your light. So there is elements that sometimes when we've had a lot of pain and grief and hurt and heartache in our world, and for extended periods of time, it can feel really difficult to even find those pieces of light within us. But they are always there, because if they weren't, you'd be dead. And so this little card here of express your hidden feelings, it can be both the positive, the negative, so the good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome. And with the hidden feelings, in regards to this one, it's saying to celebrate your light. So it's like expressing yourself in the way of finding those positive things, the happy, the good, and the awesome things, to really lean more into those things for a little while and allow yourself to really indulge in those areas. And expressing yourself is all elements of yourself. It's all a beautiful part of your spiritual library. And I'm really liking that analogy right now, which is so cool. Allow yourself that space to really move through and enjoy all of that too. Okay, so it's remembering to keep that balance between the more challenging stuff as well as the painful stuff, and the happy stuff. It's really, really important for you to have all of that balance. Okay. So let me just make one slight change to how things are happening over here. Cool. The next card that we've got for you, Heather, is make your life more interesting. Explore the unexpected. So what is it? And this also comes into this card too. I just love how they just kind of weaving into each other right now. So what is it that you've always desired to do that you've never let yourself do for whatever reasons? And this card is saying now it's time. It's time to, and actually that works for this one too. The first card of standing up for your beliefs. So what is it that if you were standing up for you and allowing you to really enjoy your life, no matter if it's a short life or a long life, if you're really allowing yourself to really fully enjoy that, what would that look like? What would you choose? And now is the time to explore into that area of making your life more interesting and making it that big, delicious life where you are exploring these hidden desires, I think is the nice way to put that. They've said hidden feelings here, but I'm going to say hidden desires of fun experiences, legendary experiences that would just bring so much lightness into your world and just be a lovely soothing balm. So let me just check. Yep. Okay. So interestingly, this one here is actually reversed. So this tells me that this is one of the areas where you're a little bit blocked right now. Okay, so if we put it up the correct way so we can read it properly, even though I can read upside down, uncover the treasures of your hidden heart, a rich bounty awaits. So what I would suggest to you, given that it is currently sitting in the reversed position, is that this is an area, so you're going to have to look at your heart area. So start doing a bit of a deep dive into the heart chakra area and have a look at what it may mean for you to have your heart area blocked a little bit. There could be some unprocessed traumas and emotions and things like that are sitting in your heart right now, which is preventing you from being able to express yourself properly, from making your life more interesting. It could be making it more difficult for you to stand up for your beliefs and verbalizing them. Because when the chakra flows come through from the bottom going up. Okay, so if you've got those first three chakras being our survival chakras are sitting in there and they're doing okay. And then the flow is going, all right, okay, up through there, and it's hitting your heart chakra, but your heart chakra is blocked and a little bit clunky, sticky, with unprocessed emotions, it'll make it really difficult for it to move forward up into the throat, into the third eye, into the crown, and further up. Okay, so just be aware of that. Dr. Joe Dispenza, I'm currently listening to his book, Becoming Supernatural. That might be something that you might like to have a look at. He talks a bit about those chakras and gives you some really practical meditation work to do. So have a look at that if you like. Dr. Joe Dispenza, the Becoming Supernatural, and it's on Audible, which is really cool. And if I think you'll probably find that there'll be people in the chat which will go, oh yeah, you can get heaps of Joe Dispenza's stuff on YouTube and things like that, so you don't have to buy it if you don't want to do Audible or whatever. And I think I did hear somebody say, I think it may have even been last week, that said you can get that book even maybe on YouTube if you'd prefer. I like having, those sorts of things tucked away in my Audible or in real copies. So the second to last card, last card of this set for you, is relax into the unknown and initiate with trust. So it is time to relax. It's time to let that stuff go that you've been holding on to, the pain, the trauma. It's time to allow yourself to breathe. You've earned it. And go and have some fun. That's what I'm seeing across this entire reading, is that like it's now time for you to just be you and enjoy your life and enjoy being who you be in whatever form, shape that you choose to take it. Okay. So, hi Holly, lovely to see ya. So let's just do your yummy card. And I know, like, when we've had a lot of really, really high stressful situations for a really long time, it can seem a little bit scary to actually allow ourselves to relax and have fun. I remember when I went to Bali, and we were there for 10 days. It took me 3 days to get to a point where I could actually stop and breathe and just relax, because I was so used to being on the go and stressed and, just wound up and all the rest of it. Seriously, it took me 3 days of being there to actually go, and that was the point where my walking pace slowed, where I started seeing the more finer details around me, where I, looked up to this palm tree and I saw the bananas growing on the palm tree in Bali, where I suggested to my partner at the time, can we go for a walk in the evening time? And that's when I got to see the fireflies over the rice paddy fields, and all these smaller, more intricate things that I just hadn't seen in the first 3 days, because I was so in my head about packing in as much stuff that we could do as possible. And then it was just like, no. And then on day 4, I got bit by a spider, so I was forced to slow down. All right. So your yummy card is acknowledge. So with that one, I would say acknowledge and take the time to write down in a journal, or however you choose to express it, maybe a creative way, all of the amazing aspects of you. Take the time to acknowledge your ability to organize and be pragmatic and manage emotions and all the things that you are so good at. Take some time to acknowledge that and enjoy that, point of who you be, your strength, your ability to communicate and manage and do the things that you really nobody else wishes to do. It's a very brave, you're just so very brave and very courageous, and you're tenacious, and I think all these things are things to celebrate about you. And then see what else you'd like to add to that list. Softer, quieter, gentler, creative things that you would like to add to that list that are just sitting in the way, sitting underneath and brewing under there and asking to be seen now. Things that'll make you smile. All right, Heather, thank you so much for that very kind donation. Thank you for helping to support the Hutt Street Centre, working with people who are homeless and especially at the moment when we're coming into winter. So thank you very, very much. On behalf of them, I'm grateful for you. And I hope that helps a little. Alrighty. Now, Edwina, darling. Okay, Edwina, what would you like a reading for, darling? General. Oh, you guys know I like tucking into juicier things, but that's okay. We can do a general reading for you. That's okay. Ooh, okay. I knew these cards were going to come out tonight at some point. I was curious to see who was going to get these cards. So these are the Divine Feminine cards. So let's see which one of these you get. So you can have a think about working or do a little bit of research with this gorgeous deck, or rather the goddess that's going to come out of it. So who wishes to work with Edwina? Oh, so much energy. I love it. Okay. Where is the index? There it is. Okay. Okie dokie, Edwina. You have, and I apologize to this goddess for perhaps not saying your name correctly. Let's see if we can get the light going nicely on this one. Okay, there we go. So you got Yushi Sogyal. Apologies again. So she is the lady of the lotus born. Embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. So Edwina, you got a really gorgeous goddess there. Look at how she is dancing with those different elements, and so cool, right? So Yushi represents a deep wisdom that has been much misunderstood. She is the ultimate spiritual wisdom that the human body is all that is needed for enlightenment. Yushi was born a princess in Tibet in 777 CE. According to the legends, she was born in the same way as the Buddha. A mantra resounded, and her mother gave birth to Yushi painlessly. Her name means Wisdom Lake Queen because at the moment of her birth, a nearby lake doubled in size, symbolizing her tremendous wisdom, her waters of enlightenment. How cool is that? So if you wish to know more about her, send me a message later and I can send you those pieces of the book. So when your soul selects her card, it can be so easy to forget everything we touch, everything we say, everything we do is not separate from the divine. Yushi embodied one of the most potent spiritual truths. The female body is an asset to enlightenment, not a hindrance. Wow. The body is a vehicle to free us from the idea that there are any limitations to reality. Tantra, which weaves together the sacred and mundane to reveal the spiritual nature of all things, allowed Yushi to realize that she was both an ordinary woman and an incarnation of the Buddha. We are both human and divine. We are both a mortal body and an eternal essence that continues on. The body too often can be the scapegoat for so much hate, distrust, and violence. The body holds infinite wisdom, pleasure, and possibilities. This is the moment to see your gorgeous body as the tremendous gift that it is. It's the moment to realize that there is no greater intoxication than just being fully in your body from head to soul. Yushi is the call to remember the holiness of your flesh, the deep wisdom of your body that your body contains, and the temple you walk around in every day. Your soul voice meditation is what helps me to remember that my body is sacred. And your intention is that embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. So that is so super cool. She is amazing. Embodiment, hey? So that naturally leads us into the question of where are you at with your embodiment? How embodied do you feel? And whatever that number is, if it's not 100%, what would it take? What choices would you have to make and changes would you have to make in your life to become 100% fully embodied and treat your body as the sacred vessel that it is, the sacred temple? And anything that doesn't allow that, any points of views, any belief systems that are getting in your way from choosing that, please destroy and uncreate them all and let them all go. I guess that's one card that we're choosing. Interesting. So what we have of the cards that have come out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. 4 of them are reversed. So if we look at this and apply this to what Yushi is encouraging or inviting you to have fun with, then we apply these cards to that as all. These are all indicators of the areas for you to look at. Okay, so first of all, we've got Tangerine, and Tangerine is about being spontaneous and have fun. So how spontaneous and fun are you at the moment? Are you choosing to be really rigid and organized, or are you choosing to be rigid, organized, controlled, maybe, even to the point of being super neat freak, that sort of elements at the moment, the do, the being very tight and stressed, and maybe feeling like you can't break away from the space that you're in right now because money, time, daylight, whatever else, finances, that is money, whatever other excuses that we might have to prevent us from choosing to be spontaneous and fun. Maybe friends, maybe lack of friends, maybe it's cold, maybe it's, all those sorts of things, that is preventing you from choosing to be fun and spontaneous and to have more fun in your life. So this card being reversed is saying that this is an area that you might like to have a look at and bringing more into your world so that you can have it upright. Okay. Next, we have another reversed card, which is pink. So we'll put it the right way for the moment, which is about letting love in. Okay. So when we're up this way, a little bit like what we were looking at with the previous reading of, it's the heart area. Okay. So your heart chakra is asking you to look at maybe doing a little bit of work there. I'm getting perhaps, and it's interesting that I've got this particular tones on in the background here, because that there is something that you can actually play with. So there's loads and loads of chakra clearing music that you can listen to at nighttime as you drift off to sleep, or maybe even what was it, conscious dance music, where it is only music and not lyrics. That might be something that will help to shift some of this energy which is sitting in your heart space at the moment and preventing you from letting the love in. There's also some of those processes that I do, in my private sessions around like forgiveness and all of that sort of thing. That may be of assistance to you. And within that, there is also elements there of identifying who you require to forgive and let go of, and to like having a look at where there's some unprocessed emotions sitting there in your heart area that is making you angry and sad and maybe a little bit resentful, and there's a big bundle of energies. It's like at the moment in my heart, I'm feeling there's an element there of like being very, it's like acidic feeling. That is a really, really good sign that there's some unprocessed stuff sitting in there. The next card so you may even like to focus on the colors. Any of these colors will actually really help you. You may even choose, seeing as there's 5 of them, today I'm going to focus on orange all day, which you can look at that from your orange chakra being your second chakra. Second chakra is your orange. Just to have a look at that for the whole of the day, like anything orangey tangerine color, and just see what that means to you. Put it at the top of your diary for the day. Okay, so this is what we're going to focus on today, of be spontaneous and have fun. How can we bring more of that in today? Then the next card the next day is pink. Okay, well, let's have a look at that. Where are we going to focus on a bit of pink today? How are we going to let love in more today than ways that we haven't let love in before? How can we change our approach with how we think, feel, touch, speak, that will let more love in to my world today? And just do it one day at a time. Don't have to do it all at once. It's a mistake people make. The next card that we had, which was also reversed, is Cherry, which is live an extraordinary life. Now, Cherry is very much around the first chakra, the base chakra. So it's those red tones. And living an extraordinary life is what the first chakra is all about. That first chakra really, really wishes you to live an extraordinary life. And the thing is, are you doing that at the moment? Are you allowing yourself to live that extraordinary life? Because the card came up upside down. So I would be hazarding a guess that you're not at the moment. But do you even know for yourself what that could look like or feel like? So one of the things with this one that I would give you as a bit of home play to play with is have a look and write down 20 things that could go on your legendary experiences list. Okay, so write down 20 things to go on a legendary experiences list that when you look back at that and after you've done each of those things, look back in 30 years' time and go, yeah, I did that. That's such a legendary experience. I am so glad I did that. I'm so glad I chose that. And see what is sitting in that list. And just don't worry about money, don't worry about time, don't worry about any of those other reasons or excuses that we give for not having those legendary experiences. Because here's the funny thing. When we start writing down these kinds of goals and targets and things like that, what happens is it's puts out the ask into the universe. And the ask into the universe then gives permission to the universe to start creating that for you. And the universe quite often works in very weird and mysterious ways, and it will give you, not always, but it'll often give you these experiences for free, if not very cheaply, and within your budget, so to speak. Or you might have to stretch just a teeny tiny bit to achieve them or get to them, but it'll be easily enough for you. And I know this has happened many, many times for me. As soon as I started writing these things down, these asks, these legendary experiences and things like that, and I would put these lists up on my fridge. So I was looking at them every single day. And when one of them came in, I would, date it and then say, thank you. And if it was assisted by someone who gave that to me, I would say, thank you, blah, blah, blah. I'd write their name. And what that did is it continues the cycle of gratitude. And the more gratitude, the more grateful you are, the more gratitude you experience, and express rather, the easier the flow is for more legendary experiences and things to come your way. All right. So that's pretty cool, right? So that is one big tip. All right. This card was actually the right way up. So Amber, and this is about awakening your creativity. Now, amber is a very bright color. It's very, very orange yellow. So it's right in the middle of your belly, right? And so your creativity is fully there. And it's time to stretch into that even more. So in some ways, it's about getting off of social media a little bit and going back into doing the things that you really, really love to do. And I know you said that you're at work, you work at a supermarket right now. And I know like being in customer service can be incredibly tiring at the end of the day. But I'm sensing from your card reading here that your team is asking you to make time for you. And even if it is only half an hour, give yourself some space to be creative at the end of your day and drop into your heart space, even if it is just a case of you pick out a 15-minute meditation and you just sit in your car or whatever in your house and just listen to that for 15 minutes. All of these things will help you. And it's like you might find that that 15-minute meditation might turn into a little bit of intuitive writing, which turns into a little bit of intuitive drawing. And then from there, you've got all these amazing magical ideas that start flowing through to you. And before you know it, it's time for bed. That's happened to me many times. So just allow yourself some space to do these things. All the energies that are floating around at the moment, this beautiful shifting that we're doing at the moment as a collective is conducive to creating the space for more of that in your world. And if you don't do those little things like making space to meditate, making space to journal, making space and time to connect in with nature and your joyousness and your loving and your embodiment and all those things, things will get a little bit wonky and potentially get a little bit like harder in your world. And all that is a really, really good sign that you're a little bit out of balance. Okay. And I get it's not just you that is having to hear this message. So thank you for being the spokesperson for this for the other people of the group tonight. Now, the other one that is sitting upside down is Aqua. Okay, so this is again heading into the heart area, being that it is a greeny color, bluey green. And Aqua is about experiencing peace and calm. So again, it's allowing yourself that space and bringing in the tools and techniques that will help you to experience peace and calm on a daily basis. So there's that amazing tool that we use every single Find You Fridays pretty much, of the expanding out tool. We will do that again at the end of the show. We'll do a little meditation, healing meditation, and allow us to go through that process again. But I know that you also have that in written form, so please use it. And you can, the cool thing about the expanding out tool is that you can use it and keep your eyes open. And this is something that Joe Dispenza talks about. He does 4 types of meditation. He does a sitting meditation. He does a standing meditation. He does a walking meditation, and he does a lying down meditation. And what he found is that people who sit and close their eyes, they can go to some really incredible, amazing space. Sitting and lying was sort of the same thing. They can go to some really amazing, incredible spaces. But when they open their eyes, quite often what would happen is they would slam back into the quote unquote real world, and all that amazing goodness that they had experienced while having their eyes closed and was sitting or lying down would not last very long. It would last for maybe a few hours, sometimes a day or two, but then it would kind of disappear. When people were standing up or walking with their eyes open, and if they got to those beautiful spaces where they were able to experience the energy or whatever spaces that they were visiting during those meditations, the effect of that would last so much longer than having their eyes closed. And I thought that's a really fascinating thing, isn't it? Because we can get really, really distracted by having our eyes open. You know, we start looking around and we sort of see, oh, yeah, you know, we've got that thing that's untidy over there, or that bit of clothing, or those dishes, or there's a bit of dust or whatever. But one of the things that they do in Buddhism is they have a practice where you focus on a point like a candle. And it's called active meditation, where you focus on a point or a candle or a crystal, or give yourself a focal point, and that's what you look at, and ignore everything else. You just keep your eyes open and you look at that. And every time your mind starts to wander, you come back to that one focal point. So I started practicing that in the summertime when the sun hits my my crystals in my window. And in the wintertime, it doesn't hit the spot in the same way because the sun moves. We know this, but anyway. And so I was using the rainbows as my focal point. As they moved around the wall or didn't move around the wall, they were my focal point for my meditation. And I tell you what, the things, the awarenesses that would pop through while I was eyes open watching these rainbows move around, and my mind was just so in the space of enjoying the beauty of the rainbows, other thoughts and intuitive thoughts would start flowing through with so much more ease. So you might find that to be useful for you too. It doesn't have to be rainbows. It can be anything. Just something to give you a focal point. And that's why sometimes people use a statue of maybe a deity that they enjoy following. That might be helpful as well. So before I let you go, let us grab your yummy card. We got humour. Remember that first card about fun and spontaneity? I think that was yours. Yes, be spontaneous and have fun. So again, you've got to have some sense of humour around everything as well. And in time, no matter what is going on in your world, my love, you'll find the funny side in it. We all do. Eventually we look back and we go, oh goodness. Oh, that was such a funny moment. I hope that helps, Edwina. And again, thank you very, very much for your very kind donation to the Hutt Street Centre. I pray that, you know, we as Adelaide beautiful people never have to make use of their services, but I am very grateful that they are there. As we know from our sister here in Find You Fridays crew, that even the food banks and things like that have had a huge increase over the last little while of how much they're having to use. People are using their services. Something like they've had a huge increase of like over 50%, 57%, I think. Have started using those services since the start of the year. So that's a massive, massive increase. And I imagine that the Hutt Street Centre is not too much different. So yeah, it's a sad but true. So if we in our more fortunate positions are able to assist and, give a little forward, then I am more than happy to do that. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who has donated. And Julie, you're up now. Thank you very, very, very much for your donation as well. I am incredibly grateful to everybody who is donating tonight. You're making this month feel so good. It makes me feel really good to be able to help others as well. Oh, goodness. So, Julie, I caught that you did send through a wee donation. So, and you're welcome, Edwina. I'm really happy. I hope that helps. So, Julie, while you're getting ready to pop through your reading and what you would like me to look at for your reading, let's have a little look at something that I do. Knees, no cartridge. Do you mean cartilage? What do I need to move forward, please? Okay. Cartridge being for printer ink. That's what I think of cartridge. I'm like, your knees have no printer ink? That's a pretty cool trick you've got there. Oh, I love spelling mistakes. They're awesome. That's okay. I got your point. It gave me a giggle. So thank you for that. Oh dear. Okay, Julie, is it both knees or just one knee? And if it is one knee, which knee? And while Julie's coming up with that, so of the people who are here in Adelaide, who's going to go to the Mind Body Psychic this weekend? I unfortunately can't go because I'll be doing renovations all weekend. So that would be good to get that. This is as far as I know, we're on our last weekend. And then I'll be relaxing. Left more, but both. Okay, cool. So yeah, who's going to go off to the Mind Body Psychic this year? Or this month? I think they still have two of them. All right, so let's have a look. Our beautiful goddess, Inner Segal, the secret language of your body. So this is, just have a little listen to this beautiful list of things to do with knees. Now, it might not be all of them. It might be just part of it, but we will have a look at this and see what happens, okay? See what resonates for you, all right? So control, blame, anger, judgment, resentment, frustration, inflexibility, feeling stuck, difficulty in dealing with a person, issue, or situation from the past, confusion, frozen desires, and unfulfilled dreams. unresolved family issues, difficulty in making decisions and keeping commitments, fear of moving forward, and a great need to know what will happen next. The left knee is issues with mother or sister, aunt, or significant female in your life, holding on to sadness, hurt, and loss from the past, feeling like a victim, constant criticism, and holding yourself back. So let me know how much of that resonates for you. Okay, thank you, Julie. Stuck, frustration, unfulfilled dreams, fear of moving forward. Yes, most probably holding myself back from whatever. Yeah, cool. Thank you for that. The right knee is, because I'm sure you're curious, is around the right knee, is issues with a father, brother, uncle, or significant male in your life, difficulties in moving forward in your career, limited thinking, where do you not want to bend in your life, fear of failure. So obviously, if you've got both of them doing funky things on you, there'll be moments where it's one or the other and or both. Okay. So oh goodness. Just moving some energies for you. That's what all that yawning is about. All right. So I'd like you to imagine, just with your eyes open. So let's do this. Okay. So imagine that you're standing up. You can stand up if you like, but I appreciate that you might find that difficult to do. But imagine that you're standing, because the thing is, if we can imagine it, our bodies often don't actually know the difference between imagination and real. So ask yourself, am I willing to let go of controlling, blaming, and judging myself and others? Can I give myself permission to move forward with trust, love, and certainty? If the answer is yes, visualize releasing all the fear, blame, and inflexibility from your knees. You may imagine cutting yourself free from the heavy ropes of control, or taking rocks of fear out of the various parts of your body and throwing them into the ocean. So next we say, divine healing intelligence, I ask you to release all blame, judgment, fear, anger, confusion, hurt, loss, sadness, and inflexibility from Julie's knees, as well as all points of view, positive and negative charge, and all patterns that can contribute to this condition. And anything that doesn't allow that, please destroy and uncreate it. And let it go to the universe now, please. Okay, next, ask yourself, what possibilities are now available to me? Imagine various possibilities of a life of flexibility, flow, and satisfaction. And now, imagine taking a step forward. Allow yourself to really live this experience from freedom, empowerment, and flow right now. breathe deeply and really savor the experience of expansion. So just bring that big breath in. And as we're doing this, I'm going to say for every breath in, see yourself moving forward. And as you breathe out, take that step forward. Okay? And as you take that step forward, imagine every single step, you're dropping away some more of those little pebbles of fear, of pain, of resentment and frustration and flexibility. Just imagine that all dropping away from your body and your knees. Now we will say, Divine Healing Intelligence, please instill deeper awareness, flexibility, certainty, and a sense of freedom for Julie. Allow Julie to take responsibility for her actions and open herself up to incredible new opportunities and ways of experiencing life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take another big deep breath in. And imagine again stepping forward with your other foot. And now you can do this in real time. Rub your hands together like this. Feel the heat and the tingling sensation in your hands. And then visualize a powerful green ray of light emanating from your hands. Place your hands on your knees and sense the green ray as it moves through your body, releasing all the stuckness and the density and regenerating them. Keep your hands on your knees until you feel the process has concluded. And we will say, Divine Healing Intelligence, please heal and regenerate Julie's knees to their maximum strength, flexibility, and well-being. It is done. It is done. It is done. That was pretty yummy. Thank you. So just keep holding that there, that green light from your hands over your knees until you feel like the process is finished. Okay. And just while we're doing that, I'm going to play with some cards for you. Where was the play? Okay. Remembering that Divine Healing Intelligence is you. It's your Divine Healing Intelligence that we were speaking to there. Not mine. Not Mary down the streets. Not even really, like, yes, it is Mother Earth and Father Sky and the universe and the collective. But at the end of the day, Divine Healing Intelligence is you. You are healing you. You are taking responsibility for your own health and wellness. And it's really super empowering and a way to get you wonderfully unstuck when you allow yourself to play with those energies in a big, beautiful way. And to really acknowledge that you are Divine Healing Intelligence for you. And you have the ability to heal yourself regardless of what previous experiences have taught you. So we've got some cards that have come out for you as well. So first of all, we've got angel therapy. Okay, so this is about giving your cares and worries up to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. So this to me is an indication that you have a lot of healing to do, and you have a lot of, by that I mean old belief systems and stuck energies that are asking for you to now let go of. You heard that lovely big list that is sitting from Ina Segal's work. This has come through from a completely different card deck. So, and your team is saying, yeah, now's the time to let this stuff go. It's no longer serving you, Julie. It's no longer serving you to have all of that anger and the resentment and all that stuff sitting in your body anymore. All it's doing is stopping you from moving forward and living your big, juicy, delicious life. And this lifetime is about healing, and sometimes it's raw and it's hard, and it really is, like one of my beautiful friends said this week, a big beautiful nightmare. And yes, you do have to have a lot of courage and bravery and patience and tenacity and willingness to do this work, to push through when you feel like all you want to do is give up. But you can do this. You've gotten this far. And it does get easier. It truly, truly does get easier. Okay. So one of the things you can do is lean a little bit more on your spirit team and allow them to, speak through to them. Speak your worries and your woes and all of that pain, and like if you don't feel like you can dump it down into the universe and into Mother Earth so that she can deal with that energy and just use it to grow other things, shit grows really good mushrooms. Mushrooms are good to eat if you like mushrooms. And that's the thing, is like all these heavy, dense energies that we think we have to carry with us and process ourselves. No, we don't. We can actually just like let them go into the universe, into Mother Earth or up to Father Sky, and they will transmute them into other energies. I know you know this, but even I know this, and sometimes I have to be reminded of it too. Okay. The next card that we've got for you, Julie, is because I forgot to put that up there. Julie is passion. Okay, so trust and follow your renewed passion in your love, life, and career. All right, so there's some areas, like if we had a look at that list around knees and things, there wasn't a lot about passion in there, and that is basically all the things that you're stopping yourself with from moving forward into this. So one of the things that we can do in our healing journey is by sort of circumnavigating the pain and the suffering and all the stuff, and we go straight to the goal and straight to the delicious things. And the energy of going to the delicious thing actually helps to heal some of this other side. And it's really cool how that happens. So even though we are feeling all of the feels, even though we are feeling stuck, even though we feel like we just want to be angry at the world and maybe give up or maybe not give up, or whatever energy is going on there, that feeling of like, I can't move forward. And it's just when we're in an I can't, on the I can't train, if you can find that one little nugget of something that gives you joy, that taps into that area of passion, it can and allow that to blossom and allow it to grow. it takes our mind off of the thing that has been like in our world and gives us a fresh perspective and allows us to move back into or forward into that area of gratitude and being more open to unconditional love. And when we're more open to unconditional love, then our divine healing intelligence has an easier time doing the healing with us. And it's amazing the things that can grow, shift, change, and expand from there. Okay. The next card you're going to really like, I think. You are safe. You are safe. You are safe. You are safe. I'm going to say this once more for you, Julie. You are safe. This is something that I'm hearing you require to tell yourself every morning. Before you get out of bed, rub your hands together. Imagine that beautiful green light is rolling between your hands. Pop them on your knees. Ask for your body to heal and regenerate to the full health and vitality and wellness. And then say 10 times, I am safe. 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 And I'm going to challenge you to do that for the next 30 days. Every single morning for 30 days. Do that little process. So you heard how long it takes. And have your hands on your knees with that green light flowing through them, and imagine all of that energy just moving away from your body, being transmuted to Mother Earth so that she can use it for other awesome stuff. 30 days. Okay. You've got many years of energy, emotions to let go of, and it can be done reasonably quickly. But when we have these habits of reinforcing the negative, it takes a little bit more practice to change that up. Now, I had a process similar to this that I started about 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Yeah. Of when I wake up in the morning, because I had a bit of a dirty secret. I hated my body. I thought it was ugly. I thought my face was all right. But I had some really interesting points of views around how I felt about my body. And I just knew that that had to change because I was hurting my own body. I was making it sick. So what I started back then, which I still do to this very day, most mornings, it's very rare for me to not do it. I might miss maybe one day in a month, if that. I start off with my toes and I go, good morning, beautiful toes. Good morning, beautiful feet. Good morning, beautiful ankles. Good morning, beautiful shins. Good morning, beautiful calves. Good morning, beautiful knees. Good morning, beautiful thighs. And I just keep slowly working up my body. And what that has done is help me shift how I feel about my body. And I am now in a much, much deeper space of gratitude and love and adoring and appreciation with this incredible vessel that I get to use every single day. And Initially, it felt really weird to do it. And I'm sure it probably sounds really weird to do it. But what it did is it started to chip away every single morning all of the times that I was ever told that I wasn't pretty enough, that I had to, be a certain way to be seen as pretty. All the times that I was ever told I was straight up ugly, all the times I felt ugly, all the times that I didn't measure up to everybody else's points of views about what being attractive meant, all the times where I had used my body in a way so that I could try and fit in, but all I did was hurt it. All the times I'd used my body for sexual purposes, just so that I could seem like I was okay and that somebody would want me. By going through that process every single morning, what I was doing was undoing all of that pain, all of those stuck emotions, all of that stuff that was sitting in my cells and had been for a long, long time. Releasing energies, right? So there we go. Your love card, your love card, your love card. Let's have a little sniffy sniff. We've been raised to be judgmental of ourselves. We weren't born that way. We got sacred. So for you, it is time to shift your view of your body into the sacred vessel. Obviously, that's our theme for tonight, ladies. It's come through from more than one of you tonight about really treating our bodies as if they are the sacred vessel that they truly are. Please take note. And if anybody else wants to do the good morning beautiful, feel free. Take that tool, run with it. It's of my own creation, but you're more than welcome to use it. Okay, Julie, I hope that helps. Hi, Lynn. Nice for you to join us. Thank you. Okay, I don't think I heard any other. No. Cool. All right. So let us do some very quick poems. So for those of you who have been around and you know what to do, pick a number between 1 and 88. Now the first number that pops into your head, not necessarily your favorite number, pop that into the chat now, my friends. Ah, dear. Okay, Julie. See, you're onto it. That's because your fingers are already at the helm, rather. Okay, Julie. Right, this is for you and you. Okay. So at the moment, there's a space of being a little bit disconnected between your body and your being. And that might sound a bit weird because your body is actually in your being, not your being in your body, but that's a whole other conversation. So we'll leave that one there. But this one here, sometimes what can happen is that we fragment our being so that we do this for many reasons. Sometimes it's just so that we can keep ourselves safe. We believe that we have to do this to be safe from persecution or whatever, and it can have popped through in many lifetimes. So this is about bringing that back together, okay? So it's called Together in Harmony. As you leave me tonight, I feel this strange feeling, one that I haven't felt in a long time. It's a feeling of peace, but also one of loss. Peace to know that you'll return, a loss that you aren't with me now. I want you to know, even if I can't say it at the moment, that I care for you, and that when we are apart, I'll be thinking of you. So there you go. It is another sign from your team saying, please just adore this beautiful body that you have, and you'll soften, you'll come back together, and when you do that, magic will happen, okay? So work on bringing those parts and pieces of you back together. And you can do that through a variety of ways. You can do it through meditation. You can do it through specific energetic healing with energetic healers. Theta healing is really good for this sort of stuff. But, you might even find somebody who does like an aura cleansing type thing. Or there's just so many things that you can do. But have a look and see which one speaks to you the most. Okay? All right, so I've got a Facebook user here. I don't know who you are. So unless we actually have a proper name, or you tell me what your proper name is, please. I would rather not do a poetry reading for you. Lynn, Robin, please pop in a number between 1 and 88. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, Kate. I will jump back to you after I've finished with Lynn. So, Lynn, loneliness is something I can't quite explain. It can hurt, make me feel out of it. It's a heavy feeling which is inside my body. It's a part of my mind, but it's released through my heart. I go all silent. I can't explain why. I don't want to be alone again. Ooh, Lynn. I'm getting the sense that you're going through a lot of changes at the minute, and you've maybe even had a dissolvement of either a relationship or somebody close to you's died. There's a lot of grief, basically, is what I'm feeling here. And all I can say to that one right now is we're going to go through after I've done this poetry book thing, I'm going to go through and do a little bit of a healing session. Please stick around for that. And I think that will help you a lot. And also along with that, come through and sorry, distracted for a moment. Reach out to those people who actually truly have your back. Because even if this is a spiritual grief, as in when we go on to this healing journey, quite often what happens is there's a shift in your friendship circles, and the things that once, and this actually came up in the reading right at the start of the week of the show, the things that you once enjoyed no longer give you much joy, and you maybe might be feeling a little bit lost and sort of out to sea as such. There are some really, really great groups of people that that are interested in the things that interest you. And like our Find You Fridays crew is just so super duper supportive and loving and kind and gentle. And there's loads of other groups out there that are larger than this one. Doesn't make ours any less potent. It's still amazing, that will be able to also offer you support. Okay, so just be brave, keep being brave, and allow yourself to keep stretching out and going into those areas and trying out these different groups and different things that you might be starting to lean into now. Okay. Thank you, Lynn. I hope that helps. And I see you. I see you, honey, and I see your heart. And it's a big heart. It's a big, big heart. And it's cool. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. Okay. You're welcome, Lynn. All right, 72. Kate Mel. Why does yours say Facebook user? That's so weird. All right. All right. Morning sky. The fiery red sky reflected from the golden glow below, the red blip distracting from the flow of gold, easing out into the valley like a long snake unfurling from slumber. So with this one for you, my dear, I'm getting a sense that you're just in this really beautiful unfurling space at the moment where you might feel a little bit like you've been stripped naked and you're feeling all the stuff, but you're also seeing the beauty of the world in very stark contrast to everything else right now. Enjoy the space. Enjoy it. And sort of tuck it away as one of those moments in your life where things are just weird and wonderful and maybe a little bit challenging, and don't get distracted by the little blips that pop up on the journey, okay? Keep expanding out, keep being that space of observing, and make sure that you're being that and using those expanding out tools that we talk about all the time on the show. And I will absolutely take everybody through that again tonight after I've finished with the poems. Okay, so this is actually a really cool poem for you, and I'm so happy. There's a lot of passion in your world right now, and it's just like, yum. Keep working with that and allow that to flow through all the things, allow it to contribute to all of the aspects that are a part of your life, you know, from work to home, to your creations, to your friendships, to your working with the spiritual world, to just being on this beautiful planet. Allow that passion to go through and be a part of everything that you do. Okay. Hope you have a lovely day and a lovely evening. Because that was a nice one. I like that one. Okay, and Edwina. You're so welcome. 44. Okay, Edwina. Reborn. I think that is the key word for you here. With each trouble and problem, even before I knew you existed, was bringing me closer to you. My life has had much heartache, as has yours. And through our hurt, we've learned to be wary. However, when two souls connect, nothing can hold them back. The restrictions we put upon our hearts are wiped away with one single tear, to be replaced with undeniable trust, souls and bodies connecting to become a brand new life. Yes, you are going through some big changes right now. And that space of being born, or in this case, reborn, it's not always going to be a comfortable one. When you think about it, as a little bubba in your mummy's tummy, and she's carried you and kept you warm and fed, and things gotten a bit squishy, a bit tight in there over the time, but overall it felt really good. Then all of a sudden it gets really, really squishy, really, really super uncomfortable. And next thing you know, your head's being squished into like the size of, a tennis ball, and your brain's getting a bit, and next thing you know, you've got your head popping out into this very weird place, and it's like, what the fuck, temperature change? And, and then your shoulders are going, So when you think about that aspect of childbirth from the perspective of the baby, frick, it's uncomfortable, right? So you got through that. And even if it was a cesarean birth, it's an uncomfortable thing to go through, right? Because just presumably your mum still had all the contractions and everything, okay? You survived that. You'll survive this rebirth. And you'll come out even more glorious and amazing and delicious than you did before. You're going to find yourself in a greater space of love, of kindness, of trust, and awareness. Give yourself time to get used to this new space. And as you move through these steps. All right. Robin. Why do we fall? You're welcome, Edwina. We fall for the wrong guy, the wrong job, wrong food, wrong drink, wrong clothes. We are looking for love, admiration, acceptance. We fill the loneliness with distractions, people, lust, purchases, substances, when all we really want is uncompromised love. Interesting, when I wrote that. This is a long time ago. I actually would change that uncompromised to unconditional. So Robin, beautiful Robin. All of that wrongness that you are thinking that you are, would you be willing to let that go? Would you be willing to allow yourself to see the beauty, the gloriousness, the magicalness that you are? Would you be willing to see and acknowledge how freaking amazing you are? And for every single thing that you think that you are wrong for, as I said, the wrong guy, wrong job, wrong food, wrong drink, wrong clothes, all that stuff is judgments. Are you willing to let them all go now from your being, from your body, from your mind, from your souls, from your soul, from your cells? Every little part of you, are you willing to let that go? Are you willing to be brave and bold enough to actually totally, with absolute abandonment, ridiculously an abandonment, love unconditionally? Because that's what you're being asked to do. It's not about being egotistical or arrogant. It's about choosing you. And in choosing you, you get to choose your deliciousness, your love, your kindness, your potency, your magic. But to do that, you've got to remember that you are brave and that you are bold. Yes, I'm letting that land. That's why I'm pausing. Allowing you the space to breathe that in. And every single little bit of wrongness that has been locked into your cells, particularly behind your shoulders, through all of your lifetimes, dimensions, realities, and non-realities. Would you now be willing to let them all go now? As much as you can. And anything that doesn't allow that, destroy and uncreate it. Let it go to the universe. Let it go down to Mother Earth, up to Father Sky, wherever you just choose to let it go to. Doesn't matter. Beautiful. Well done. Thank you, Robin. Love it when I get to do stuff like that. Super fun. It's a little bit like love it, love it, love it. Alrighty, gorgeous ones. Let us do a little healing now. So we're just going to make sure that this is nice and quiet now so that we don't get any funny little bleep bleeps or bzz bzz. Okay. Embodiment. Beautiful, delicious, gorgeous embodiment. That's what was the theme tonight. So, I'm going to give you the option, given what I was saying earlier about the findings of Dr. Joe Dispenza around closed meditations or open eyes meditations. You choose what you would like to do. whether you would like to do this closed because it's easier, eyes closed for you because it's easier for you to visualize, or if you'd like to take that challenge of an open-eyed meditation, it's totally up to you. But first of all, let's take a big deep breath in. All the way to the top of your head. Hold it up there. And now close. And now slowly letting that breath back out again. And now breathing in once again. Holding it at the top. And then letting it out again. And this time as you breathe in, imagine bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through your feet, through your legs, all the way up through to the crown. And hold at the top. And this time when you breathe out, breathe Father Sky energy all the way down from the top of your head, all the way down your body, through your arms, through to your fingertips, all the way down your body, through to your legs and your feet. And that cycle continues through the rest of this meditation. Mother Earth energy up with that unconditional love all the way up, and Father Sky energy coming all the way down, bringing that gratitude for everything and everyone with it. And now I'd like you to focus on your beautiful, beautiful, sweet body. And now I'd like you to imagine seeing within your body, seeing the cells of your body, and then go deeper to see the molecules of your body. And go deeper again and see it all the way down to the atomic level. We see the protons and the neutrons. And you also see that there is nothing is stuck or stagnant. Everything is shifting and changing and moving all the time. And that your body is in fact 99.909% space. And now expanding out your awareness beyond the size of your body, beyond the size of the room that you're in, beyond the size of the building that you're in a big bubble up into the sky and down into the earth. And now imagine your awareness going, see your awareness going greater than the country that you're in. And now greater than the planet, now greater than the solar system, now greater than the galaxies, and now greater than the universes. And if you choose to go further than this, absolutely, please be my guest. But if you're more than comfortable being just right here, right now, that's totally okay too. And now with your awareness nice and expanded out, I'd like you to focus on your body once again and grab that sense of allowance. And the sense of allowance, of course, is a space of being able to see, perceive, and receive everything from no point of view. There's no shock, there's no trauma, there's no emotions. It's just you get to see everything for what it is. You get to see the truth of it for you. Now expanding out your allowance beyond the size of your body, beyond the size of the room, And the lovely big bubble beyond the size of the building, up into the sky, down into the earth, expanding out your allowance beyond the size of the country, beyond the size of the planet, beyond the size of the solar system and the galaxies and the universes, and finally beyond the size of your awareness. Please take a big deep breath in now. And slowly letting that back out. And as you let out your breath, I would like you now, as you slowly breathe in and breathing out, really take notice of the air as it comes in through your mouth or your nose or both, how it moves gently down through past your tongue and your throat, all the way down into your lungs, where it helps to increase your chest. It makes your ribs move and your diaphragm move. Take notice of all of that. All these automatic body movements that we take for granted every single day. Take a big deep breath in. Now slowly letting it out, taking notice of all of those muscles, all that sinew, all the cartilage, all the bones, and how all the other organs move and shift around with every single breath. Keep consciously breathing and taking note. Acknowledge how amazing and magical this process is. How we can take air that is around us with so many different elements in it. It comes into the body where it gets filtered, and all the parts that aren't any good for us get shifted away, breathed out or processed within. And all the parts that the body can use then gets injected into our bloodstream, sending it up into the heart so that the heart can then reoxygenate the blood and have that move around the body. And now I'd like you to bring in that Father Sky energy with all of that unconditional love and gratitude, especially the gratitude. Bring that gratitude in and allow that to penetrate through every single cell and molecule of your body. Feel the gratitude. For having this incredible sacred vessel that is yours. You chose this vessel. You chose this body. You are responsible for making sure that you listen to your body. You are the driver of this body. You are the one who gets to nourish and nurture and love and make this body feel so, so special. You are the one that gets to honor this body by having strong boundaries and not letting anybody or anything violate those boundaries. You are the one that gets to use your magic through this vessel, through this body, to create whatever you desire. You do this every single day, consciously or unconsciously. Just ponder on that for a moment. Everything in your world you have created. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome, all of it. Just perceive how your body is feeling. Perceive the tingles. Perceive the magic. And now as you breathe in, I'd like you to imagine Mother Earth energy with all that beautiful unconditional love and bright white opalescent light coming up through your body, through your feet, through your ankles, through your shins and your calves, through your knees, through your thighs, through your pelvic floor, and your pelvis and all your reproductive organs, up through your belly and your back, moving all the way up through to the heart. And we're just going to pause at the heart for just a moment. And I'd like you to imagine having a really close look at your heart chakra, as well as your real heart, your energetic heart, your emotional heart. And as you look around your heart area, see if there are any areas there, any spots, any cracks, any splits, any bits missing. And now see that Mother Earth energy with the unconditional love, that bright white opalescent light, moving around your heart areas, the heart chakra and your heart, your emotional and energetic heart, and your real heart if you choose. See this bright white opalescent light moving around and through all of the areas of that, all the spaces and places. And what it's doing is it moves through all the spaces and places as it's healing all of the bumps and the bruises and the cracks and the splits and the pieces missing. And as it does this, you begin to perceive the threads that are tying your heart through to your inner, through to your being. There are multiple threads, and they're all around your body. And now if you perceive, just have a look at each of them just quickly. And if you perceive any of them where the being, that part of your being is off somewhere else, give that little thread a tug right now. And bring that piece of your being back to you. And as it comes back, fill that space with gratitude and unconditional love, welcoming that part of you back home, back to you. Remember, I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. It is safe for me to be whole again. Say this with me 3 times now. It is safe for me to be whole. It is safe for me to be whole. It is safe for me to be whole. And anything that doesn't allow that, with total ease and joy and glory, please let that all go now. And now we're going to bring some balance into all these incredible energies. We're going to continue with that Father Sky energy coming down through the crown, with that gratitude all the way down through your third eye, through your throat chakra. And now they're going to join the energies of unconditional love, that opalescent light from Mother Earth in your heart area. It swirls around and around like that, dancing. The unconditional love and the gratitude are now dancing in your heart. And as the energies of the unconditional love and the gratitude dances in your heart, the masculine and the feminine energies are dancing in your heart, just making you feel so light and so happy. Those energies are now flowing out through every single one of those threads to your being. And now they're flowing out from beyond your being, like the brightest, most beautiful, shining, glimmering light you've ever seen in your whole entire life. And that is now stretching out and going to every single person that you care about, whether they be near or far. Just that beautiful unconditional love and gratitude for everything and everyone, flowing out to all the people that you care about. So in this one moment, you also get to share with them the magic that is you, the magic that is unconditional love. Take a big deep breath in now. And now slowly letting it back out. And now imagine that you're standing on a big warm river rock. And you'll feel that lovely warm energy of Mother Earth coming all the way up through your body. And the Father Sky energy is coming down. And if you've got your eyes closed, you can open them now. And if you've got your eyes open, well done. You're amazing. So anything that you could wish for now, I encourage you to do so. Write those legendary lists. Find something fun and tasty for yourself to do over the weekend. Nourish and nurture this incredible sacred vessel that you have. Enjoy being you, because there's only one you in the world. There's only one person in this whole entire world who has had your unique set of circumstances. And it's time for you to acknowledge the fact that you are bold and you are brave and you are beautiful. Because there's that lovely little thing of when you're beautiful from the inside out, you sparkle. And that's the beauty that I'm talking about. For those of you who are in Adelaide, you might decide to go along to the Mind Body Psychic this weekend. If you don't, that's okay too. I know the weather may or may not be okay, but I encourage you to remember this space as you head off to bed tonight, or if you're in another part of the world, wherever you are, hold on to this energy, this lightness, this joyousness, this heart-filled space for as long as you possibly can. And I invite you to go out into nature at some point, or at least interact with some form of nature, even if it's a potted plant, and lightly touch it and see what happens. Because remember, you are profoundly clairvoyant. And it's time to start honoring these skills. So, of course, I'll be back next week with our second to last episode for this 12 months. How does it get any better? Not second to last episode ever, just for this 12 months. And in the meantime, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends. If you're over in YouTube land and you're watching this, thank you. Please like and subscribe. If you're in Facebook land, I would absolutely really be super grateful if you could click that follow button. And in time, who knows? Perhaps we'll get to a point where we can do that cool little stars thing. That'd be nice. I adore you all. Thank you so much for being with me tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course, thank you on behalf of the Hart Street Centre to everybody who has donated for extended readings over this month. I am incredibly grateful to you all. And if you wish to keep a track on those sorts of things, I will be posting little graphics up into the Find You Fridays community page, so you can have a check of that too. The link to that group is in the chat and it's also in the show notes as well. Until I see you next time, everybody, please get out there, do something tasty for yourself, enjoy being you, always be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.